Well, hi, Chris. How you doing today?
I'm doing all right. How about yourself?
I'm wonderful, thank you. So everybody, I am Lara Wood, Executive Director of NACFM, and I am here today with one of our Vice President candidates, Chris Joy. And Chris, I'd love it if you would tell us a little bit about yourself, where you serve, and a little bit about yourself.
Alrighty. I'm Chris Joy. I currently serve in North Richland Hills, Texas at Cross Church, formerly North Richland Hills Baptist Church. Changed name back a couple of years ago. About 190,000 square feet here, and then we have a secondary campus that's about 25,000 square feet with about 50 acres between the two. Um, Been here since 2016 as a facility technician, then took over the facility manager role in 2021, and then been doing it since then. Been a member of the NACFM since 2019 when my former facility manager came up to me 3 days before the conference and said, "Hey, I'd like you to go down to Houston and get in touch with the NACFM and go to their conference." And so that was my start and journey where I sat next to Homer Clark for the
Yeah,
first conference I went to.
that's awesome. That's awesome. I think Homer was one of the first people I met my first year there too. So
Everybody knows Homer.
everybody knows Homer. So. All right. Well, I just have a few questions for you. So let's get started. What inspired you to pursue a leadership role on the NACFM board, and how do you see yourself contributing to our mission?
Well, I, like I said, been a member since 2019, been a part of it, been to every conference since then. Just, it's a great organization. It's helped me along the way so much, and being able to have somebody to reach out to, have a group to be able to reach out to, and hey, anybody experiencing this, or hey, what's going on with this, and all that. So that's been nice to have. And you know, I knew that there was a role open, and a uh, few board members have come up to me and asked if I have thought about it. And I've thought about it. I've always said no. I've always kind of put it off and just figured, why not? It's time to jump into it and see how I can help and contribute and be a part of this great organization a little more deeply.
Awesome. Well, and you're really involved with one of our local groups as well there, right? The Texas group is fairly strong in that
Yes.
area.
Yes,
So
I try to make all those that I can. I there's a funny story there. I actually hosted one a couple years ago, and I had chiller problems and texts here, and so I didn't even attend the own lunch that
your
I was
own one.
hosting. So it was great. James still gives me a hard time about that to this day.
You'll have to try it again sometime. So
Yeah, I don't know. He may not ask me again.
how has your faith influenced the way you lead and serve in your role as a church facilities manager?
Not to give the Sunday school answer, but just trying to be Christ-like, right? I mean, just trying to lead forward and help my guys through their struggles and everything, and have a good game plan together, and try to treat them how as I want to be treated. The golden rule,
Yeah.
and just be there for them, and and just we're here to be a helping hand to the ministers. It's for the ministry. It's for the ministers. And try not to take away from them doing what they should be doing.
I think you hit the nail on the head of something important is that we minister to our teams as well. So
Mhm.
just being a part of the team and leading your own team is ministry in and of itself. It's a shepherding. So
Well, even that, and then the outside contractors too. I know you talked about
yes,
that before,
yeah.
and all that is just trying to be a light for them as well, because some of them are coming from different backgrounds, a lot of different backgrounds.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. One of our greatest mission fields. So,
Hmm.
what's one challenge you faced in your facilities leadership journey, and how did it shape your approach to serving others?
It kind of goes back to that last statement about we're here to support the ministries and all that, and not always tell them no.
Mm,
Hey, we want to do this. No, no, we're not doing that. And just hey, okay, let's talk about this. Let's try to work through it. Let's figure out a game plan. Maybe let's try this instead of that. I had a conversation here recently with a minister wanted to do an event in the gym and not put the tarp down. I was like, no, we're putting the tarp down. That's at least a $500,000 floor. We're protecting it, but just trying to, hey, let's maybe work on another solution and
yeah,
just trying to work through those challenges, because
yeah.
ministers come up with all kinds of crazy ideas. And, as much as, we know that that's extra work on us, that's part of it though. We're here to serve them and keep the building running.
How is it that churches seem to always get those creatives with those crazy ideas of
I mean,
things?
I know everybody that's going to watch this video is going to go straight to it's always the youth ministers, right?
Always
We
the youth.
all have it with the youth ministers. Let's have sardine wars in the live room in our high school room. That's a great idea. I think that's great. Let's
Amazing.
yes, it's
Oh,
we
yeah.
try to lead them away from the crazy ideas. Try to get
Help
them
them
back
find
on track.
something fun to do reasonably.
Yes.
They don't think those words fun and reasonable go together, but
And hey, they're trying to reach the youth. The youth is
yeah,
crazy and fun. They got to do what they got to do, but
yes, they
we can
do.
try to lead and rein them in sometimes.
Well, what excites you most about the future of NACFM, and what role do you believe the board should play in shaping that future?
I know, everybody hates talking about it, but I know COVID affected the NACFM greatly. After that, the numbers kind of dwindled a little bit on, especially in showing up, and I think a lot of that's just churches are struggling.
Mm,
And so, I'd like to see, the board and all that us try to figure out how can we help influence and push for more facility managers to come. And like I myself, I need to hey, I know this guy over here and he hasn't been to one. He's local. Let's get him here. We just had a if I lose power, it's because we're in the middle of a thunderstorm right now.
oh,
Just
okay, good to
flickered.
know. Okay.
um, so I just you want to see the group be successful. You want to see those numbers grow. And it's just like our church. Our church has been struggling since COVID, numbers wise.
Yeah,
Financially wise, we're pretty stable. I'm still being gracious and being
yeah,
able to go to conferences and all that. And I know that's not the same boat for
every,
other facility
yeah,
managers. I'm blessed in the position that I'm at in the church I'm at to have leadership that recognizes, yeah, hey, you need to go do that. You need to
yeah,
go to that luncheon. You need to go to that and be a part. And talk to my boss a couple of times about this, trying to take on this VP role, and he fully supports it. So it's nice having the leadership support. I know that's not the same for other churches. So, part of my thought process is, maybe we need to reach out to more business administrators and try. And I know we
yeah.
usually try to have a booth at those kind of things and stuff. So I look forward to how we can expand and get more people involved and try not to,
Awesome.
you know, oh, I'm too busy. I got too much going on. Well, we all do. That was
We
my
all
excuse
do.
for the lunches for a long time. It's like it was always something, but you need the break. You need the reset.
Yeah. And the community. I mean, we all talk about small groups, right? I'm
Mm.
sure most of our churches have some level of small group experience and feel, because we say that it's biblical to meet in community, and our community is each other. So
Mhm.
it's a really great
That's why the
opportunity for us
local
to
groups are
continue to
very
learn off of
important.
each other. So yep, and the local groups are very important. So, and that can be a springboard for well, goodness, I could go on forever, but I know we need to keep this short.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you could swap jobs for a day with anybody, either in or outside of your church work, who would it be and why?
So my one question to that question is, do I get their skill level?
Sure.
Okay, so if that's the case, then I'm gonna pan my camera over
Okay.
here and maybe not. It's
Yeah.
attached. In that corner there, I like to play disc golf. I have disc
Ah,
hanging on the wall in my office,
okay.
everything. So I would, there actually is a professional level of disc golf, and
Oh,
so I would try to be a professional disc golfer. Of
oh, very cool.
course,
That's
not
kind of
my
interesting.
camera. It's not going back where it needs to go.
That's it. Well, I can see you. There you go. Yeah, that's interesting. I know Homer plays, I think,
Yes, Homer plays.
Homer plays, and
There's a few of
I've,
them that play.
I've tried. I'm not very good.
Jean from Houston plays.
I can barely get my dogs to go after a frisbee. Well, I can barely throw my frisbee enough for the dogs to have anything to go after. So I can't appreciate that much. So, well, thank you very much, Chris. We appreciate you taking a few minutes out to let us get to know a little bit more about you and spend some time with you. And we look forward to seeing you at conference.
Yes, I appreciate the opportunity to be able to run.
All right. Well, thank you very much, and we'll talk to you soon.
All righty. Bye.
Bye.